Thanks to the rise of the gig economy, more and more people make a living remotely as freelancers. Freelance web developers claim impressive wages for their work, and they represent a growing percentage of freelance population. If you're interested, you're probably wondering, how much do freelancers or web developers make? Well, it's difficult to pinpoint precisely. Freelance work can involve multiple clients at once, and so figuring out an exact salary can be challenging. Nonetheless, in this video, we'll go over the typical freelance web developer wages and see what a full-time remote employee can expect to earn. What is the average freelance web developer salary? And for freelance web developers, what are their rates? And for developers who do decide to go down the freelance route, how much can they even charge? Today, these home-based web developer jobs report an average hourly rate between $30 and $150 per hour, depending on the type of work and the experience in the field. It's worth noting that some freelance web developers charge hourly rates while others bill on a project basis. If you decide to become a freelance web developer, you can decide how you want to bill your clients. Beginners without a decent portfolio may struggle to charge higher rates, but your pay is often based on how well you convince your client that you're worth what you're asking for. Due to the vast pay discrepancy between jobs, most sources don't agree on the exact number. Based on the research that I've done, according to 12,000 vetted developers on Code Mentor platform, the average hourly rate for a freelance web developer is about $60 to $81 per hour. Not bad for someone who's working out of their bedroom or their couch. So the next question, what is the full-time remote web developer's salary? Remote web developers who hold traditional full-time jobs are easier to analyze. Many tech companies allow their employees to work remotely, which offers many of the same benefits as freelance work. These programmers make about $70,000 to $100,000 annually, depending on their level of experience. ZipRecruiter reports that home-based and remote web developer jobs earn an average of $53,000 per year, with salaries topping just above $100,000. Their salaries are very close to the average wage for a typical full-time profession in the United States. Let's look at another commonly asked question. Freelancing versus traditional employment. Freelancers set their own hours and they work wherever they want, but their pay often varies based on how much they work and how many projects they take on. Freelancers work from home or anywhere other than a regular office. As a result, they have the opportunity to set their own hours and waste less time at work when they're not being productive. Freelancing offers many benefits to traditional work, but also comes with its fair share of downsides. Because remote workers set their own hours, they're responsible for completing projects on their own time, with nobody around them to enforce deadlines. So that takes a lot of accountability and time management. Remote web developers don't clock in or out, but they don't necessarily get to take the rest of the nights off after the 5 o'clock shift. For those who manage their time well, these jobs can be extremely lucrative and rewarding. Web developers in remote positions only make as much as they're willing to work, and being a freelancer allows you to choose your own workload, and your income will depend on both the quality and the quantity of the jobs that you decide to take on. What these remote jobs lose in structure, they gain in flexibility and autonomy. The biggest advantage for a freelance web developer who chooses to work remotely is that they get that feeling of being their own boss, having the freedom to work with whoever they want and wherever they want. So just to recap, as a freelancer, you do need that discipline, but with that discipline comes a lot of freedom. Finally, you're probably wondering, how do you become a web developer? Now that you're interested, here's how to become a freelance web developer. If you dream of setting your own hours, traveling the world, or simply working from home, then a career as a freelance web developer could be for you. While it's possible to learn all of this and all the necessary coding skills on your own, it's not generally the best way to break into your first tech career. Instead, I would recommend doing a coding bootcamp to help you get your first job in tech. Now, the first job is going to be the hardest one to get. Whether your first job is remote or in person, a year or two later into your career, the second position will be much easier to get because you will have prior experience and a track record. There is no cutting corners. Coding bootcamps are accelerated programs that turn you into a professional web developer in less than 12 months. If you're ready to change your career, visit careerkarma.com and learn more about alternative education space, remote work, and we'll help you discover if a tech career is right for you. And as always, if you want to receive more videos like this from me or one of my co-founders, click the subscribe button below and leave your thoughts on what you found to be the average salaries for web developers in your city or state. Without further ado, let's break in.